Yeah, we back with another interesting video. Now today I'm going to be reacting to the 1805 Constitution that was promulgated by Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines. I think it's interesting. I also think there's certain articles in the Constitution that black men could learn from as well. So let's jump into it, not wasting no time. As we can see, take a look up on the screen. The 1805 Constitution of Haiti, the second Constitution, May 20th, 1805, promulgated by Emperor Jacques I. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire Constitution. You can do that online. It's very easy. You can Google it. I'm just going to go through certain interesting articles that popped out to me, and I'm going to be giving my commentary on those. So let's get into it. It starts out by saying, we, Christophe, Clairvaux, Vernet, Gabard, Pétion, Geffrard, Toussaint, Brave, Raphael, Romain, Lalendridi, Capois, Magny, Daoud, Congé, Magloire, Ambrose, Yayou, Jean-Louis François, Gérin, Moreau, Fervou, Bazelet, Marshal Best, as well as in our name, as in that of the people of Haiti, who have legally constituted us faithful organs and interpreters of their will in presence of the Supreme Being, before whom all mankind are equal, and who has scattered so many species of creatures on the surface of the earth for the purpose of manifesting his glory and his power by the diversity of his works, in the presence of all nature, by whom we have been so unjustly and for so long considered as outcast children, do declare that the tenor of the present Constitution is the free, spontaneous, and invariable expression of our hearts and the general will of our constituents, and we submit it to the sanction of His Majesty the Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, our deliverer, to receive its speedy and entire execution. Now, let's jump right into it. This right here is one of the most famous articles in the Constitution. It says, no person is worthy of being a Haitian who is not a good father, a good son, a good husband, and especially a good soldier. And for me, that's self-explanatory. And I could even extend that and say, you're not even a real black man if you're not a good father, a good son, a good husband, and especially a good soldier. And to me, that part of the Constitution simply says, listen, you're not a real man if you don't take care of your family, you don't take care of the ones around you, and you're not ready to pick up arms and defend everything that you care about. I'm talking about that part where it says to be a good soldier. That just means, listen, if you're not ready to die for what you believe in and take care of your family and love your family, bro, you're not a real man. You're not a real Haitian. You're not a real black man. This part of the Constitution, fire. Now, before we continue, if you read the entire Constitution, listen, that would mean that a good chunk of the current Haitian population living today is not going to qualify. Now, even me myself, there's certain articles in the Constitution which would mean that if it was applied today, I would not be eligible to call myself a Haitian. But not because of this, though. If we're going by this one, I'm still eligible, but you'll see later down the line. Let's continue. Articles 10 and 11 of this section says, fathers and mothers are not permitted to disinherit their children. Every citizen must possess a mechanic art. I'll say this, though. One thing that I respect in the early constitutions of the Haitian government was the encouragement given to family, the encouragement given to marriage, right? Even in the previous article, it said you can't even be a Haitian unless you're a good family man, unless you're a solid family man. You know what I mean? I respect how this Constitution places an emphasis on raising your goddamn kids, taking care of your family, taking care of your loved ones. I respect that. Let's continue. Article 12 of this section says, no white man of whatever nation he may be shall put his foot on his territory with the title of master or proprietor, neither shall he in the future acquire any property therein. Now, unfortunately, y'all goofy motherfuckers did not listen to Dessalines' his request and his demand and the laws that he set on the books, because right now as we speak, there are several white men who own companies in Haiti operating on Haitian soil, you know, stomping their feet all through the goddamn country, doing their thing, doing as they please. So, you know, that's the effect of not reading the literature and the written text of your ancestors. And when you fail to study your ancestors, you're going to get punished every single time. Now, let's continue. The Empire of Haiti is one and indivisible. Its territory is distributed into 6 military divisions. Each military division shall be commanded by a general of division. These generals of division shall be independent of one another and shall correspond directly with the emperor or with the general in chief appointed by His Majesty. Now, in my opinion, it's no different than what we have in the United States, right? Where we got the states, and each state got the governor and the mayor, and they doing their thing in their own independent little section, but they report to the government, the federal government that controls, you know, oversees everything, but everybody's kind of autonomous in their own little section. So that's basically all that is. When they say military division, it's just little states within the entire country. And up north, you had Christophe. In the Port-au-Prince, you had Pétion. Down south, you had Geffrard, you know, etc., etc. Now, keep in mind, I'm just skipping all over the place, right? I'm not going to read the entire Constitution. I don't got time for that. If you search Haiti 1805 Constitution, I'm pretty sure you can find an English translation relatively quickly and easily. Now, let's continue. I believe this section is talking about Dessalines' power of making war and making peace. Article 32 says, to him alone is reserved the power of making peace or war, to maintain political intercourse, and to form treaties. He provides for the interior safety and for the defense of the state, and distributes at pleasure the sea and land forces. Basically saying, we got the shooters on deck, bro. We got the shooters on the roof, bro. Let's continue. This part of the Constitution is in regards to spiritual practices. Article 50 says, the law admits no predominant religion. The freedom of worship is tolerated. The state does not provide the maintenance of any religious institution, nor any minister. This right here is another example of when you fail to follow the written text that your ancestors laid down. If this article in the Constitution was maintained, the Catholic Church would have never been able to establish such a power and presence in the country that it currently has right now. But anyways, let's continue. Article 11 of this section says, every stranger inhabiting the territory of Haiti shall be, equally with the Haitians, subject to the correctional and criminal laws of the country. All property which formerly belonged to any white Frenchman is incontestably and of right confiscated to the use of the state. Man, listen, I'm telling you, if this was the modern day, I'm telling you, they would have had Dessalines on CNN, on MSNBC, on Fox News. They'll be like, man, we got this dictator. We got this dictator named Dessalines. We gotta send the Marines. Let's continue. Article 20 of this section says, the national colors shall be black and red. A lot of people don't know, but the current Haitian flag is not the Haitian flag of our forefathers. But anyways, let's continue. Article 19 of this section says, within each military division, a public school shall be established for the instruction of the youth. Man, I just want to say that's some gangster shit though. Like, you know how like people say, I'm from this province, I'm from this city, I'm from this such and such. During this time, you would say, oh, I'm from the Western Military Division. I'm from the military division down south. I'm from the Northern Military Division. Bro, that shit sound gangster. I don't know about you, man. That shit sound hard. Anyways, let's continue. Article 21 of this section says, agriculture, as it is the first, the most noble, and the most useful of all the arts, shall be honored and protected. Now, I just want to say, and it may sound crazy because, like I said before, we always digest the European narrative of history, and we take that as gospel. But during the day when Haiti was allegedly under embargo, right, in these early days in the 1800s, do you know that the country was way more prosperous than it is today when it was under so-called embargo? Well, first of all, it was a fake embargo because they were still coming and getting their coffee and their sugar just off the book. So it was some fake ass embargo trying to look tough and shit, bitch ass niggas. But anyways, because in the early days, as you can see, the leaders had a mentality geared towards self-sufficiency and independence. So the government poured all of its energy into the production of agriculture, right? So the problems that you see going on in Haiti today, they didn't exist back in 1805, 1806, 1812, 1815, 1817. Unless you were under the government of General Alexander Petron, because his government was trash. That nigga was, Jesus Christ, that nigga was garbage. But aside from him, man, relatively speaking, the country had a decent amount of food security because, listen, that was the most productive colony on the planet during that time. So it was easy to continue growing crops, growing food, eating the food that you grow. So all this shit you see going on today, people talking about they hungry, they don't got food to eat. It's funny how before Haiti was allowed to formally, officially join into the international markets and buy and sell food on the international markets, it's funny how we had way more food security when we were under embargo by the Western powers compared to now where we're competing against the Western powers on the international food markets and they undercut our prices and destroyed our agriculture sector. It's funny how now that we're part of the international markets and we got, democracy and free trade, it's funny how our agriculture sector has been destroyed. And why is that? Because it makes more economic sense to buy the bullshit ass food being imported from American farms than it is to purchase from the local guy who his prices may be a bit higher, but you would still be supporting your local agricultural economy. But at the same time, people got to do what makes sense for them. So they're going to go with the cheaper option. And at the end of the day, the American farmers are going to win every single time. And the Haitian farmer, he's going to be broke on the street. Now let's continue. Article 24 of this section says, good faith and integrity in commercial operations shall be religiously maintained. AKA, brothers, when we doing business, let's do good business, okay? I think all black men could, take that and run with that. Good faith and integrity in commercial operations shall be religiously maintained. Let's continue. Now, this right here is why I said I would not qualify to be a Haitian under the requirements given for the 1805 Constitution. Article number 7 of this section says, the quality of citizen of Haiti is lost by immigration and naturalization in foreign countries, and condemnation to corporal or disgrace punishments. The first case carries with it punishment of death and confiscation of property. Basically saying that if you're not living in the country right now, then you are subject to death if we ever catch you. If you leave the country, you are subject to death if we ever catch you. And why is that? Well, you got to take a look at the populations that were fighting during the War of Independence, right? We had a section of black people who were born inside the colony. Everything they knew came from the colony. But we also had that section on the colony that were born on the continent. And those who were born on the continent, they had a different agenda. They didn't always see eye to eye with the blacks who were born in the colony, right? I even told you that one story about how Christophe, a black man who was born in the colony, he assassinated, what was his name? Jean-Baptiste Sanssouci, a black man who was born in Africa because they didn't see eye to eye. Now, I'm not going to get into that, the different disagreements between those who were born on the continent and those who were born in the colonies. But long story short, there were a decent amount of African-born people in the colony that they thought they were fighting to be independent, but they wanted to go back to Africa though. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, okay, we free. I bet I'm out. I'm going back to the Gambia. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going back to Benin. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going back to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So Dessalines had to contend with the section of the population that wanted to go back home. He was like, nigga, you're not going back home, nigga. You're not going back home, nigga. No, you're not going back home. We got to defend this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? The French might come back next week, nigga. You're not going nowhere. And to be honest, this article in the Constitution is no different than what you might see today, where certain black countries do not offer dual citizenship. For example, even today, I don't think the country offers dual citizenship. Now, I don't think they're gonna, subject you to, murder or corporal punishment. But yeah, you can't get dual citizenship if you leave the country. So the law is still kind of in effect, minus the punishment of death. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's continue. The next article says the quality of citizen is suspended in consequence of bankruptcies and failures. Damn, bro, you really had to be a real black man to be a Haitian citizen back in them days, bro. Anyways, let's continue. This right here is my favorite article in the Constitution. Right here, number 28. It says, at the first firing of the alarm gun, the cities will disappear and the nation rise. What does that mean? If the Europeans touch down, bro, everybody pick up arms. Everybody rush to arms immediately. Man, woman, children, even the babies and the old people. Pick up arms, grab a machete, grab a stick, grab a shoe. Let's go. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you fail to follow in the literature, in the historical text of your ancestors, because the governments that came after Dessalines' government, obviously they had their own constitution, and they did not follow this. This statement. Christophe's government followed this statement. They upheld this statement in the Constitution, but the government of Jean-Pierre Boyer, he did not, because he agreed to pay the French slaveholders $20 billion. He did not. The city did not rush to arms because he was a bitch-made ass half-white Frenchman. And he sold the country away. Fuck that nigga. That's also another narrative in the historical text that I gotta correct. Haiti was not forced to pay $20 billion. The French waited to get a government in office that was more, more open to their demands, right? They waited over 20 years to finally get a regime in office that was open to negotiation with the French. Dessalines was not willing to negotiate with the French. Christophe was not willing to negotiate with the French. Even Pétion, he was not willing to negotiate with the French because he passed away and he never agreed to pay a dime. Christophe passed away, didn't agree to pay a dime. It was not until the regime of Jean-Pierre Boyer came into power, the French finally got a president in office that was, more friendly to their demands and their requests. And it was a mutual agreement. He decided to pay his white side of the family $20 billion. And that's that, bro. That's that. It wasn't like they were forced. No, because the Haitian people were ready to fight to the last man. That's why Dessalines built over 20 military forts. That's why Christophe built that massive fortress 3,000 feet on top of a damn mountain. So at the end of the day, bro, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart to be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing the agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.